I had a chance to listen to the governor at lunch a little bit earlier, and there's nobody who's got a bigger heart or a bigger brain when it comes to promoting the state of Georgia. And he also knows that it's a building blocks of a lot of different things. We're fortunate down here in South Georgia that we have plentiful water. One of the byproducts of our graduate medical education program is that besides bragging that we have great weather, great people, abundance of water, we also have a well-staffed physician manpower plan. And so that's a big part of what we're about doing here. Now to the main show. Not very often you get a sitting governor to be able to come to a community hospital, and for that reason you can see a lot of folks are interested in having you here. Governor Deal is the 82nd governor of the state of Georgia, and he has spent, besides his time in Washington, D.C., even though he's a native of Sandersville, he chose to lead his professional life in North Georgia. His non-metro roots instilled in him the recognition of the importance of parts of the states that are beyond the glow of the bright city lights of Atlanta. And we're so glad that he has that background and understands some of the unique things that happen in a less populated part of the state. It is that appreciation for the whole state of Georgia that has brought him here to our fine community today to see and experience and reach out and observe what's going on with healthcare and medical education. Governor Deal has served our country and our state in many different capacities. He was a member of the United States Army, and after that chose to stay here in the state. He also served in Congress for 17 years, and while in Congress, he rose to become the chairman of the Health Subcommittee of Energy and Commerce. Well, after he had his luncheon remarks today, he boldly asked if there was any questions, and they have a lot to do with healthcare. Fortunately, the governor knows healthcare very, very well. He is not a student, he is a graduate when it comes to understanding healthcare in our country. We're at a crossroads in this country because a lot of change is happening, and the governor understands those changes very well. He's been a long-term supporter of community healthcare, and importantly, a leader who understands the importance of investing in education as a building resource for future use, and we appreciate his championing the efforts of medical education. Governor Deal, we are so honored that you chose to take time to come down and meet these fine folks who are the future of Georgia, and at the same time to see your proud constituents here, hear what you bring in the way of word from Atlanta. Please rise and welcome our governor.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you all for the hospitality you've shown to me today. I don't bring words from Atlanta, Georgia. I bring words from the people all over this great state of Georgia. Because that's who we are. We're Georgians, all of us, no matter what part of the state we live in. And we have a lot in common. To those who have made this possible, this program, and to these new folks who are beginning on that residency path, I say congratulations to you. You've been selected, and thank you for choosing to be a part of this program. I think you will be benefited from it greatly. I know that our state will benefit from it as well. We're a state, that sort of believes in helping yourself, doing things for yourself when you can. And that's why the message that continues to resonate here is that we want you to stay in this part of the state where the need is the greatest. And this is one of the areas that is underserved in terms especially of primary care. I want to congratulate Phoebe and Joel and all of those through the years that have made this residency program possible. 20 years. And you were doing this long before many other people picked up on the importance of having residency programs right here in Georgia. Now, I understood the importance of that, and one of the initiatives that I put in place was that we wanted to create 400 new residency slots in the state of Georgia. And the primary reason for doing that was, as has already been alluded to, we know that when a person does their residency in an area and in a hospital environment, they are more likely to stay in that same area. And the real tragedy that we have experienced in our state is that we have paid for education from pre-K all the way through high school, in many instances all the way through college, and in some instances all the way through medical school, only to find that they could not get a residency in the area they were interested in unless they went to another part of the United States. And unfortunately, when they did that, many of them decided to stay there and not come home. Now, I view that as a drain on our resources. And that's something we have the power to do something about. And that's why, with the help of the members of the General Assembly, many of them who are here today, and I thank them for their presence, is that over the last 2 years, we have put an additional $3 million into establishing residency programs here in our state. So you're a part of a great heritage here. I know you know that, and I know you're going to continue to make not only your parents but all of us proud for your participation in it. Now, as these other graduates leave, we are going to be watching you as well. And I have an idea some of them are going to check your zip codes too, so hopefully those zip codes will be here somewhere in the immediate area of our state. And the reason that's so important, let me give you a statistic that backs up what I'm saying. Your original goal was in this residency program to have at least 60% of your graduates practicing within 60 miles of Albany. Now, the program has actually seen, I'm told, 70% of its graduates working within a 100-mile radius of Albany. So I think you've achieved that goal, and we're proud of that. But in communities in South Georgia, we have about a 27.6% fewer family physicians per capita than what is considered to be appropriate federal standards. So we've got a ways to go, and you can be a part of solving that deficit, and I'm sure that you will do that. Now, it takes a lot of collaboration for education to reach its fruition. And as these residents go forth from this program here today, they are sort of at the end of that maturation process. And they will take with them the skills that they have acquired all the way through the educational processes, but more particularly, the skills they've acquired as being residents right here in the programs that you have offered. So, it is an important program. It is one of which you should be very proud. It is one that the state of Georgia supports and will continue to support. We offer you not only our financial assistance, but also our encouragement. When we do for ourselves, we can be doubly proud of what we do. And all of you are a part of making Southwest Georgia a more viable place for people to live, to raise their families, and to work. Now, I want to tell you about the commitment I have to continue on that work part of the agenda. The only way that we're going to be able to serve the needs of the people of this part of the state or any part of the state of Georgia is to continue to provide opportunities for employment for our young people. We need to not only train them for jobs, and that's an important part of what all of us try to do, but when they are trained, it's important that they have a job so that they can put those talents to work. And if we can train them and provide them with job opportunities in the areas where they want to live, then we will not only enrich their lives, but we will enrich the lives of the area of the state of Georgia in which they live. So I commit to you that I'm not only going to be supportive of a continuation of our internship program, our residency program in our state, but I'm also committed to taking every opportunity to grow the job base all across our state. And we have had great success. It has somewhat been a patchwork quilt, however. We are seeing a lot of growth in some parts of the state and very little in other parts of the state. So what we have to do is to improve those ingredients that bring jobs to a community. And education and training of the workforce is a vital and essential element. A company is not going to make millions of dollars of capital investments unless they are convinced that they can get the employees with the skills they need to come to work for them. They also will not locate a facility in a community that does not afford their employees and their employees' family with adequate and appropriate health care. So today, you're working on one part of the overall formula. And I want to pledge to you I support you in this effort, and I will continue to work on those other elements that will make this a continued great place to live, to work, and to raise families for future generations. Thank you.